Hello, everybody, and welcome to the CoalSpace XP podcast. Today, we are doing something very interesting. Top 10 video games, not board games. There may be a board game episode, but top 10 video games that I have ever played personally, or tried, or anything like that. But this is a top 10 video game list, generally speaking, from me, based on certain things. And I'll tell you what those certain things are. So, the certain things are, was the game overall a good experience? That's the most important one. Second of all, the replayability. Was the game replayable after one run? Or was it like a one and done? I'm going to look at that. How was the sound design for this game? Was it good? Was it too loud? Was it not loud enough? How was the visual, the graphics? Were they crisp? Was the game trying to be aesthetically pleasing, or was it going for a certain aesthetic? And did it deliver that? Did it deliver that in emotion when I looked at it? So we're looking at that too. What else are we looking for? Well, let me tell you. We're looking at the overall satisfaction that I got from the game playing it, and maybe just how well it was received by people. I don't know if I'll go into that aspect of it too much, but I'm going to go for personal preference here. So this is a top 10 list of all the video games I have ever played. And if you have a top 10 list, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about my list. And if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. So please share them. And like I said, this podcast episode is going to be a little bit different today. This is going to be a top 10 list of all the video games that I think should be on the top 10. And that is the whole episode. So if you do want to see that, stay tuned. I would like to add, this is not in any specific genre. This is any genre, any video game, any time period. It can be anything like that. So remember that when we are talking about this, because this is any type of video game. Not horror, not just action. This is specific to, generally speaking, to games I have experienced and played. All right, shall we begin the top 10 list for the CoalSpace XP podcast? First, coming in at number 10, this is a lesser known game, but if any of you know it, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a game a long time ago when I was a young lad that I played that has stuck with me for a very long time. It is a game that I didn't play much of, but I loved the mechanics so much that I still think about this game. I played it a lot whenever I could. Wasn't good at it. Loved it though. This game deserves a remaster. This game's mechanics deserve to be studied. And yeah, no, it needs it. So this is what it is. It's called Stranglehold. If you've ever heard of Stranglehold, how do I explain this best? You are a guy who has the ability to do very cool gunfighting scenes. And in this game, they allow you to do slow motion gunfighting scenes. And you can dive, I think. You can slide. Dive, slide. You shoot. Like, if you're watching the podcast, I should say, he shoots like this and he dives, right? And you shoot. And that's all the game is. Like, you're fighting through this storyline, this very linear storyline, where you are like this, you're just this awesome dude like John Wick. And it's so addicting. It's so much fun. I have very little memory of it, but for the sole fact that this game has been stuck in my head since I was young, it is literally going to make number 10. I don't have a lot to go off of for this one, but number 10 is definitely going to be Stranglehold. I think it deserves its place, and it's a good enough game to where it was a lot of fun, and I still remember the gameplay. And it's been a while since I played it. I want to, if I ever see it somewhere, I'm going to buy it and play it because it's just that good. So the fact that that game pulled me into playing it that hard at that young of an age, maybe it was just the slow motion, the gunfight scenes were really cool, and all the environments would destroy and explode with the gun bullets flying everywhere. Made you feel like an action star. So Stranglehold, number 10. Number 9, and I will say this list is jam-packed. It's all over the place. This list is jam-packed full of great games. I highly recommend each game that I am telling you in this. Just try it if you can. If you have the platform, if it's disappeared into nothingness, then sorry. It's a really hard to attain game, but some of these you can get off of Steam or Xbox, PlayStation probably too. I don't have PlayStation, but probably get it off there as well. Number 9, though, is a game that I played on my YouTube channel. I've played it also again because it was so good, and I just wanted to just really know more about it. This game is called What Remains of Edith Finch. What Remains of Edith Finch is a game where you are a girl coming back to her childhood home. And during that, you have almost flashbacks or memories. And these flashbacks or memories are kind of dark because you're the last of your family. The last member of your family. All of your family has died in certain ways. And they tell that through really cool storytelling. Like they just tell it in such a beautiful way. And you play through these memories. Every time you go to a section of the house of that person's room, or maybe something that they remember them by, you live in the game through that. And you see what happens to them, kind of how they kind of died. This game caught me by surprise. I'll say that from the very beginning. I knew nothing of What Remains of Edith Finch. When I played it for the first time, I was in shock of how good this game was. I was like, it doesn't look like much from the store. It doesn't look like it'll be that interesting. And I didn't know how awesome of an experience I was about to have. What Remains of Edith Finch was one of the best games, top 10. And there's so many games out there. I even have, right before we hit number 1, I'm going to have an honorable mentions part where the games that didn't make the list, they're going to be all highlighted just for a sec too. Because I want to honorably mention some games that should be on this list, but there's just so many good ones, it's hard to put all of them on this list because we only have 10 spots. So, What Remains of Edith Finch comes in at number 9. I think its replayability is really good, but it is limited because if you see it the first time, it's kind of that's what it is. It's not like a choose your own adventure where you can see multiple, you can't make a decision. It is what it is, right? But it's so beautifully made. The sounds crisp, perfect. The sound, all the music they picked, all the sound effects they picked, loved it. I think the storytelling in the game was amazing. Very smart how they played it. It's not hard I would say, but it's fun. It's not really a hard game, I would say. It's more of an experience. What Remains of Edith Finch, I think, is more of an experience than anything. For sure. All right, coming in at number 8. This game is very good. I like this game. This game, I feel like you can play more than once. I think it is scary. It is very good. Everybody will probably know it when I say it. This game hit me at a teenage year when I needed it. It's a game called Outlast. This game I've played on the channel, my YouTube channel. This game is so scary the first time you play it. So good how they designed this game. And it deserves a spot on this list because it is so perfect. Like, it is just one night in this place, in this asylum. It sets such a scary scene, and you have to live through it. And the worst part about it is you can't fight it. You cannot fight the Outlast horrors because you have a camera. You live it. You don't fight through this. You don't get to fight through this. So, with that, Outlast makes number 8 because of its scariness, its replayability. It's got a good challenge to the game. It had to make the list. There was no way I was not putting it on the list. It was just a legendary game. So, and I have so many games that I had to snuff. I'm so sorry if I snuffed your game that you wanted to see on this list because there are just so many good ones. But I had to be myself. I had to be authentic, and that is why every number on this list is what it is, and the honorable mentions are what they are. So Outlast, I mean, being like a little, just this guy being chased by these horrifying people this whole time is just so scary in of itself. If you've ever played Outlast, you know what I mean. You know the anxiety of hearing somebody running behind you, looking for a battery. You know, it's just scary. So, number 8, Outlast. All right, coming in at number 7. Ooh, this is getting good. I'm getting excited. I'm excited to tell you what number 1 is. Maybe you have guessed it if you know me or you watched me for a little while. But coming in at number 7, Elden Ring. Start off by saying Elden Ring is a game that brought me into the Souls-like genre. I did not try Dark Souls, right? I was deterred by the difficulty of those first Souls-like games. They were so hard, I didn't even think for a second. I was like, no, we're not doing this. Not at all. And Elden Ring, I think a lot of people loved it and received it well. That game doesn't really have a storyline or a plot. But it doesn't need one. It doesn't need one. It shines in its boss battles, its character customizations. It shines in it receives your movements well. So the movements aren't buggy at all. And I think you have to make it perfect when you design a game like Elden Ring, because if you don't, then nobody's going to play it because it's really frustrating already to fight the bosses. So everything's got to come in perfectly. Elden Ring is one of those games that I feel like is going to be a game that people like for a very long time. Elden Ring is really good at doing what it does, which is boss battles. You can play it over and over. I feel like you could play one time on Elden Ring and then play again and have a completely different experience just by a change of the class, a different direction that you go on the map. Maybe you fight the same bosses, right? But you fight them in a whole different way. You play the game in a whole different way. So Elden Ring, number 7. That I am confident in. Great game. I want to do a live stream playthrough of it because of how good it is. But I know it's going to take a long time, so got to get that Resident Evil playthrough done first. And if you notice, I haven't said Resident Evil 0 yet. I will explain why. the Resident Evil 0 hasn't been said yet. Later on in the closing remarks. So, number 6. Moving on to number 6. Number 6 is a classic. It's one that is near and dear to my heart because I've played it so much. It had to make it on the list. It wasn't going to be towards the top, but it had to be middle ground because I do love it. I don't even know how to introduce this one. I think it's the best-selling video game of all time. It's blocky. It's Minecraft. I've done a tier list on the mobs in Minecraft. Minecraft is so many things, right? Minecraft is survival, where you're surviving out in the wild, in the Minecraft world. Eating food, surviving, making houses, foraging, farming. Minecraft can be creative, where you make huge, beautiful artwork, or you make little, cute artwork. Minecraft can be whatever you make it, and that's why it's so cool. The replayability of Minecraft is infinite, if you think about it. Minecraft can be played over and over forever, and you can always have a different experience because of how malleable it is. It's so flexible. The gameplay, it's iconic. It's fun. It's satisfying to find diamonds. It's satisfying to fight the monsters in the game, where it's just, you just and it makes the noise, and it's satisfying. Simplicity works in Minecraft. Music, iconic. Sound design in that game, great. Makes a huge difference. Minecraft has great sounds. It is a good game, and that's why it's at 6. I didn't want to put it towards the top because there were some other games that emotionally pulled me in the ways that Minecraft could never. So, Minecraft can't emotionally pull you in, but it'll definitely entertain you. So, Minecraft at 6, everyone. Coming in at number 5, though. This game actually was really fun to play, very satisfying. This game at number 5 is called Wolfenstein New Order. It's the first Wolfenstein. Oh gosh, I hope that's not the New Order one. Is it? Hold on. I'm going to figure this out right now because I don't want to give you guys the wrong name. Because then you're going to try it and go, this is not the game he was talking about. This is a whole franchise. You gotta have the right one. There is a lot of Wolfenstein games, so you gotta be careful here. Alright, everyone, it is Wolfenstein The New Order, the one that was made in 2014. I really liked this Wolfenstein. Some of the Wolfensteins I didn't like as much, but this Wolfenstein I liked a lot. The music at the end of this game, I like it so much that I listen to it from time to time. It's just so, I love it. I love the music in Wolfenstein The New Order ending. Okay, so Wolfenstein The New Order was a game that I played through so quick because it was so addicting to play. The dual wielding of guns, the gunplay was really cool. I liked the characters. They developed the characters really well in this game. What else? I think that overall that game just was fun and satisfying to play. It was cool to see an alternate universe where Nazi Germany was victorious. I believe that's kind of the storyline, but how that plays out. So it was kind of cool to see that. And the intro was very, very grabbing as well. So Wolfenstein A New Order at number 5. The game itself, the gameplay was really good. I loved it. So that's why it's going at number 5. Just from gameplay, music, audio, it looked good, liked it. So yes, Wolfenstein, number 5. All right. At number 4, this game. These top 4 were so hard for me to pick. So hard. I could not pick because of how good each one, if the experience of each one I have had. So at number 4, we are going to pick Firewatch. Firewatch is a linear story game. It tells the story of a guy named Henry who's just a Firewatch ranger, park ranger at a like a national forest or something like that. But he's just watching at the towers to see if there's any forest fires. And there's a storyline that takes place in this game that's really good. And the music in this game is really good. Exploring the wilderness, it's so beautiful. The graphics are beautiful. And the story that they tell at the beginning of this, I love it. It's just so grabbing. Anyone who has played this game knows that this story grabs you and it doesn't let go. It just keeps holding on, and you gotta see it through to the end because it is an experience to play Firewatch. I've played it on my channel as well. I think actually Firewatch right now is the most viewed video on my channel, so that's really cool to see on the Cold Space channel. So Firewatch is at number 4. It is a really good game. Highly recommend it. I highly recommend any of these games. And any of them, I think if you play them, you'll have a fun time. But Firewatch, great game. But moving on to number 3, there are 3 games that I thought were better than Firewatch, which is hard to even say. It's hard to swallow and think about. But at number 3, we are going to go with a game that I put countless hours into. When it came out, I beat it in like a week or 2. And I may even play it on my YouTube channel at some point or stream it. But it is a game called Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2, a lot of people probably know this game. I don't even have to intro it. But you're cowboys and you're in the Old West. But the Old West is dying. The Wild West, the days are ending. And Red Dead Redemption highlights that in a really cool way. Because you see the new ways police are enforcing rules. They're not the same, Wild West that they once knew. It's getting harder to be the way that they are as crooks. And Dutch, Micah, all the character development is perfect. The story, the music, everything about this game is amazing. It is a masterpiece, and it should be remastered as many times as Skyrim has been remastered. Honestly, it is an amazing game. The replayability is always there because you will not. It takes a long time for you to see the same thing twice in Red Dead Redemption. You play through it one time as a first timer, you will not be bored. I will tell you that right now. You play an hour on Red Dead Redemption, you are not getting bored because there is just something happening every which direction. And it's so cool. It's a living world. They did a really good job at Rockstar making that game. So cool. I hope there's a Red Dead Redemption 3. I hope they keep making them that detailed because that game was amazing. I don't care how long it takes to make that kind of game. Make them because people will love that game for a very long time. Everything about Red Dead Redemption, 5 stars. Perfect. You guys see what I did there with the Rockstar reference, 5 stars. But anyway, moving on. We got to get this list done. At number 2, sitting at number 2, I put a lot of time into this game. I have enjoyed it. It is called Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Shadow of Mordor was really good. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. I thought about putting that one in, but I like Shadow of War a little bit better. So, Middle-earth: Shadow of War is at number 2 because I love Lord of the Rings, first and foremost. I'm a Lord of the Rings person. Love it. Always loved it. So, whenever they release a game, I always want to play it if it's a Lord of the Rings game, I am interested just by that name. And I will say they used that name for one of the games they recently released that was terrible. I'm not even going to give it its name because it's so bad. And I am disappointed that they did that to our poor little creature friend. He's not our friend, though, in that game. He is evil in that game. Ew, gross. But anyway, back to business. Middle-earth, Shadow of War. Great game. You can play it way more than you think because its replayability is off the charts with its Nemesis system. The Nemesis system in Middle-earth, Shadow of War will cause you to have... You're building like leaders, which is a really cool concept, but you're building captains and like warlords and your I think it's overlords, but they run your regions in this game, and they're orcs because you have the ring. You're the Bright Lord. You're Celebrimbor. You're like a part of Celebrimbor, I guess. You can see I know a lot about Shadow of War because I really like this game. I could ramble. I could do a whole episode. I probably will do a whole episode on the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor games because they are so cool to talk about. And I know there's a lot of Lord of the Rings fans out there like me, so maybe the next episode. But anyway, Middle-earth Shadow of War is at number 2 because its combat is great. You have executions and all this cool stuff that happens, sword fights. You're fighting like 20 orcs and you're taking them all out. You feel like such a cool fighting character in a game that it's a decent story, but I think honestly the Nemesis system and just the combat in that game is so satisfying. That's why it's number 2 on my list, because I just kept playing it so much. I love to see orc leaders betray me and then become more powerful, and then I had to take them out again. And the commentary, oh my gosh, the voice lines on this game. I love how they did it. They really took a lot of time into the voices of this game. They gave all the orcs different voices. They give them interesting things they say, and they call him Talk, and they know that when he dies, he comes back, but they know that they're gonna kill him again and again, and it's such a cool tug of war kind of thing, and building up your favorite leaders into being like the Legion Readers, the Overlord, I think, is cool. And that whole system, the Nemesis system is what they call it, it's so cool. So number 2, it's just iconic. I love Shadow of War. I've beat it, full playthrough, beat it twice. And that's like 80 hours per one that I played it on. And that's not even everything. I didn't get all the secrets. I didn't 100% it, so... That's when you know the game's good, is when the story, it's Lord of the Rings story, so it was okay. It was cool to see more of the Lord of the Rings story. It's not like the best story I've experienced. I would say Red Dead Redemption had a better story, but Shadow of War had more fun aspects to it that made me want to play it longer. Because once I beat Red Dead Redemption's story and explored enough, it was kind of like... more, so I moved on from the game. So, and with Red Dead Redemption 2's online mode, it was good, but I feel like you could do more with it. So that didn't do everything that I wanted it to do. And then, here we go. All right, we have approached towards the end of this podcast episode. This is the number 1 spot on the top 10 video games I've ever played list. At number 1, before we tell this number 1 game on my list, we are going to go into the honorable mentions part of this podcast episode. The honorable mentions that I felt they deserved to be mentioned at least. So, these didn't make the list, just to clarify. But they are close to being on this list, so they're honorably mentioned. I'm going to go through them. I got more than I thought. I was being generous. So, with the first one, I'll explain a little bit of each one. and we'll just go through it really quick so that we can finish this episode. And then I will go to the number 1 on the top 10 list. All right? Sound good? Sound good? Okay. So, honorable mentions, Castle Miner Z. Older game on the 360. It was Minecraft with guns. Really cool. Check it out. A lot of fun on that game. Beacon Pines. Playing it through on my channel right now. It's a narrative-driven game. A lot of fun. Very cool story. Very interesting characters. And there is like a choose-your-own-adventure type game where you choose one direction and it branches out into a bunch of others. So Beacon Pines is awesome. Highly recommend Beacon Pines. Sleeping Dogs. You play an undercover cop. And the fighting in this game is phenomenal. Love the fighting. It's very memorable. And that's why I love Sleeping Dogs. It's kind of like GTA, but you're a cop. You can free roam, but you're playing a story. So, Sleeping Dogs, great game. Love it. Darkest Dungeon, really cool turn-based game with permadeath on the characters. Love permadeath concept in this game because you grow attached to these characters, and they all are human. They all have certain emotions, and that plays into the group factor when you're trying to survive through these dungeons together. And you go with a group of 4 people, and it's got a really dark aesthetic to it, and it's really fun to play. It's a long game to beat, but fun to play. Highly recommend Darkest Dungeon. It's just really addicting. I don't know why. Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead is a game, I mean, if you watched the previous podcast episode, I talked about Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead is a shooting game. You go through levels, fight zombies. If you've never heard of Left 4 Dead, but Left 4 Dead, great. When the Past Was Around. This is a game, I'll make it short, it's a point and click game talking about sensitive topic about losing someone. The music in this game is really good. The atmosphere is really good. And it made me a little emotional. So I knew that the game told a good story through images and audio. Just the music. And you're just solving puzzles. That's all you're doing. And this girl's dealing with the loss of, I'm assuming, was her boyfriend. So it was just really cool. But sad. But it was worth it. Crash Bandicoot. The first one. Crash Bandicoot. Great game. Platformer. Running around. Trying to get through all those levels. Very memorable. Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Call of Duty Black Ops 1 is always going to have a special place in my heart. It's a great game. Started all the Black Ops stuff. Black Ops Zombies. Had so many nights I played Black Ops Zombies. You all know Call of Duty. Most likely. Call of Duty is a pretty big game. So I'm going to assume that if anybody's listening to this podcast, that Call of Duty is known. It's an FPS, first-person shooter game. Overwatch is a hero shooter. Used to be 6v6. Now it's 5v5, I believe. I don't know if that's changed, but I'm pretty sure it's 5v5 on Overwatch 2. I'm talking about Overwatch 1. So it is a hero team shooter where you would pick a character, and the character would have specific abilities, and you work as a team. A lot of fun. Played a lot of Overwatch when it came out. This one is an honorable mention, but it's a newer game called Balatro. I streamed this game recently. I've made videos on this game. I love Balatro. It's just a deck builder roguelike game, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, as much time as I've put into it, it was a really good game to have an honorable mention because it's rare that I put that much time into a card game like that. But it's just so satisfying to play, and the music's really hypnotic, and it's an hypnotically satisfying game. I think that's the description of it too, and they hit it right on the nose because that game, and it's so satisfying when you win in that game, win a run. So the last honorable mention before we get to the number 1 spot in the top 10 video games is Hogwarts Legacy. The ambience of this game really pulls you into the Harry Potter world. You know, Hogwarts, you get to be a student at Hogwarts. It's cool. The music is awesome. Very, very relaxing. You get to be a wizard. You get to cast spells, and they do it in a way that's really quick and satisfying. And I love how you can just combo all these spells together. It's so fun to play that. So Hogwarts Legacy is our last honorable mention. And with that, we are approaching the first spot in this list. Number 1, you may have guessed. I'll give you a second to guess. The first spot in the top 10 list. Number 1 goes to Fable 1. Fable 1 has been a game that branched me out to any other game more so than, there's other games that branched me out. Fable 1, I played it once as a kid, played it once as an adult. I want to play it again, and I'll still have fun. Fable 1, I love it. The music, I love how the game is played. I love how the story is, how you want to be a hero or a villain. It's just my favorite, hands down. And I know that other people will have other opinions. Like, they'll think that Fable isn't that good. And that's okay. That is totally okay to think that Fable is not your favorite game. Fable is my top game. Number 1. And I love this list that we got here. This is the top 10 video games that I have played ever. This is top 10 for me, hands down. I want to know what your guys' top 10s are, or what you think about my list. I even think the replayability is good because, if you want to be bad, you can be good afterwards. So Fable 1, I love. Oh, and I will say, as we're closing it down here, the reason why I don't have any Resident Evil games on this list is because I haven't played through every single one of them yet on my channel. And I just don't know enough about Resident Evil games to, I want to play them more to actually get an accurate representation of them. They would have probably made the list, I will say, but I don't know who they would have replaced, so I can't confidently say Resident Evil would have made the list, but I feel like they had a shot. At least honorable mentions, if anything. But they didn't make the honorable mentions because I haven't played through all of them yet, and I haven't really experienced them, So these are games that I've experienced, I've seen, that I think you should try because I had great times with them. Some of them, like Overwatch, you might not have the same experience because it's a multiplayer. Black Ops 1 might be hard to have. The story mode's really good, though. The story I liked. The numbers mission, what do they mean? Very, very good. Multiplayer may be a little different nowadays, though. But with that, I'm going to end the podcast episode here. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. This podcast has been a lot of fun. I'm just continuing to develop new episodes as we go. And I am so excited to see the next episode. So thank you again for watching, listening. Either way, I appreciate it. And I would see you all in the next episode of Coalspace XP Podcast. So get your extra XP here next time.